Expand your vocabulary with our Core 2000 Words ebook. It's free and packed with essential expressions that you'll use on a daily basis. Start building your vocabulary today. Click the link in the description below to download your free Norwegian ebook before it's gone.
Hi everybody, Annette here. Welcome to Ask a Teacher, where I'll answer some of your most common Norwegian questions. The question for this lesson is, what are bokmål and nynorsk? Many of you have probably heard of bokmål and nynorsk, literally meaning book language and New Norwegian respectively. But did you know that you can't actually speak bokmål or nynorsk? So, what exactly are they? They're the two official written standards in Norway. Danish was the written language in Norway from the 1600s to the 1900s because of a union with Denmark. Because of this, bokmål is highly influenced by Danish and is used by around 85% of Norway's population, regardless of which dialect is spoken. Nynorsk is only used by around 10 to 15% of the population, but there are a lot of dialects that may seem closer to nynorsk than bokmål. Nynorsk was created by Ivar Aasen, a Norwegian philologist, lexicographer, playwright, and poet, in the 1800s as an alternative to the Danish language. He traveled around Norway studying dialects and based nynorsk on the similarities between the dialects. Norwegians learn both bokmål and nynorsk in school, but unfortunately many Norwegians don't seem to want to study nynorsk, which is a shame, as it's quite rare to have two official written languages in one country. However, the Norwegian Broadcasting Corporation, NRK, supports both written languages. Newspapers have articles in nynorsk too. Having two official written languages can sometimes cause confusion for both Norwegians themselves and foreigners. For example, stamps in Norway are issued with Norway spelled as either Norge, which is bokmål, or Noreg, which is nynorsk. Some stamp collectors actually think that this is a misprint. And that's it. Do you have any more questions? Please leave them in the comments below and I'll try to answer them. Ha det, vi ses snart. Bye, see you soon. Hi everybody, Annette here. Welcome to Ask a Teacher, where I'll answer some of your most common Norwegian questions. The question for this lesson is, will a Norwegian who speaks another dialect be able to understand me? Norway has a lot of dialects, so this can be a challenge for Norwegian learners. As you may already know, Norwegian has two official writing systems, bokmål and nynorsk. A person's dialect will be the closest to one of these writing systems. Norwegian dialects are usually divided into Northern Norwegian, Central Norwegian, Western Norwegian, and Eastern Norwegian. Remember, all of these groups have several dialects. Many dialects developed in Norway because of the inability to communicate with other villages that were separated from each other by large mountains. This isolation meant that groups of Norwegians spoke differently, even if they were only kilometers away. When you learn Norwegian, your way of speaking will be closest to bokmål, which is the most commonly used. Therefore, probably all Norwegians will understand you. You, on the other hand, may struggle with all of the dialects and have some problems understanding a Norwegian speaking with a different dialect than you're used to. But don't worry, most Norwegians are very kind, and if you can't understand them, they will switch to speaking something closer to bokmål. An important tip to remember is that Norwegians are very proud of their own dialects. Therefore, it's better not to tell them if you prefer another dialect or if you find theirs hard to understand. You may end up offending someone. Okay, I hope that helps. If you have any more questions, please leave them in the comments below and I'll try to answer them. Ha det! Vi ses senere. Bye! See you later! Hi everybody, Annette here. Welcome to Ask a Teacher, where I'll answer some of your most common Norwegian questions. The question for this lesson is, how do I know which gender a noun is? A lot of people aren't sure how to tell which gender a noun is. Unfortunately, there are no rules to learn what gender the noun is without the article. So many people learn the nouns and articles together. Norwegian nouns are divided into 3 genders: masculine, feminine, and neuter. Let's go over each gender. First up, masculine nouns. Masculine nouns have the article en, which means a or an. Let's take the noun gutt, meaning boy, for example. En gutt, meaning a boy, is a singular indefinite noun. To make it a singular definite noun, you add the suffix en to gutt. Then you get gutten, meaning the boy. For the plural indefinite noun, you add er and you get gutter, meaning boys. Finally, for the plural definite noun, you add ene and you get guttene, meaning the boys. Let's look at another example, using the same order. En bil, bilen, biler, bilene. A car, the car, cars, the cars. Next, feminine nouns. Here, you use the article I, meaning a or n, for feminine nouns. Let's use the word dør, meaning door, as an example. For the singular indefinite form, you add the article I. So, I dør means a door. For the singular definite form, you add the suffix a after dør. Then you get døra, meaning the door. In the plural indefinite form, you add er and get dører, meaning doors. Finally, in the plural definite form, you add ene and get dørene, meaning the doors. Not so bad, right? It's very similar to the conjugation of masculine nouns. Here's one more example. Ei bok, boka, bøker, bøkene. A book, the book, books, the books. Last, we have neuter nouns. Neuter nouns have the article et. Let's take the noun hus, meaning house. In the singular indefinite form, you just add et and get et hus, meaning a house. In the singular definite form, you add the suffix et and get huse, meaning the house. In the plural indefinite form, you generally don't need a suffix, but remember, some neuter nouns need the suffix er. Hus doesn't, so you just say hus, meaning houses. Finally, in the plural definite form, you add the suffix ene and get husene, meaning the houses. Let's do an example where you need the er suffix. Et vindu, vindue, vinduer, vinduene. A window, the window, windows, the windows. How was this lesson? Don't worry if you don't get it right away. Remember, practice makes perfect. And you can learn more about nouns at NorwegianClass101.com. Do you have any more questions? Leave them in the comments below and I'll try to answer them. Ha det! Vi ses snart! Bye! See you soon! Hi everybody, Annette here. Welcome to Ask a Teacher, where I'll answer some of your most common Norwegian questions. The question for this lesson is, how do I say to go in Norwegian. Many Norwegian learners think that both å gå and å dra mean to go, but it's a little bit more complicated than that. In English, you can use the word go in many situations. For example, if you say, I'm going to the store, we don't know if it actually means I'm going to drive to the store or I'm going to walk to the store. The point is just that you're going. In Norwegian, saying something similar is a little tricky. Let's do some examples so you can learn how to use å gå and å dra correctly. Å gå is only used for the actual act of walking. Here's an example. Jeg går til butikken, which means I'm walking to the store. If you don't need to emphasize how you're getting to the store, you'll use å dra. Å dra is the verb that best translates as to go. Let's practice with a similar example. Jeg drar til butikken, which means I'm going to the store. Here are some other examples. Jeg drar hjem. I'm going home. Or jeg drar til Norge. I'm going to Norway. When traveling, you can use å dra to go or å reise to travel. Of course, you can use å gå too if you're actually going to walk to Norway. An example would be jeg reiser til Norge. I'm traveling to Norway. Instead of jeg drar til Norge, I'm going to Norway. Okay, that's it for this lesson. I hope I helped clear things up for you. If you have any more questions, please leave them in the comments below and I'll try to answer them. Ha det, vi ses snart. Bye, see you soon. Hi everybody, Annette here. Welcome to Ask a Teacher, where I'll answer some of your most common Norwegian questions. The question for this lesson is, how do I say to think in Norwegian? If you look up the verb to think in Norwegian, you'll find 3 words, å synes, å tro, and å tenke. All of these words come from Old Norse. In Old Norse, å synes means to show, å tro is related to the words meaning safe and reassurance, and å tenke means to discover or to understand. So, how do you know which one to use? Let's do some examples so that you can learn how to use å synes, å tro, and å tenke correctly. Let's start with å synes. Å synes is used when you have a personal opinion about something or somebody. Here's an example. Jeg synes han snill, which means I think he's nice. Another example would be jeg synes at prøven var vanskelig, meaning I thought the test was difficult. The next one, å tro, can be used when you're unsure about something or somebody. Let's do some examples. Jeg tror hun kommer hjem I morgen means I think she'll come home tomorrow. And jeg tror han kan svømme means I think he can swim. In both examples, you're not sure if these are true statements. It's also common to use å tro when something didn't turn out the way you expected. For example, jeg trodde prøven skulle være vanskeligere. This means I thought the test was going to be more difficult. The verb å tro can also translate as to believe. Here are some examples. Jeg tror på Gud, meaning I believe in God, and hun tror ikke på meg, meaning she doesn't believe me. The last one is å tenke. Å tenke is used when the act of thinking is significant. For example, jeg tenker på deg hele tiden. I'm thinking about you all the time. Or gi meg litt tid til å tenke på det, meaning give me some time to think about it. Å tenke can also be used when you have planned to do something. For example, jeg har tenkt å rydde rommet I morgen, meaning I plan to tidy up my room tomorrow. Here's one more tip. Lately, people have been using å tenke when they mean å synes when asking for someone's point of view. For example, hva tenker du om global oppvarming? Meaning, what do you think about global warming? This is probably due to the influence of English and is often used by journalists when they want to get an opinion. And that's it. Do you have any more questions? Please leave them in the comments below and I'll try to answer them. Ha det! Vi ses snart! Bye! See you soon! Hi everybody, Annette here. Welcome to Ask a Teacher, where I'll answer some of your most common Norwegian questions. The question for this lesson is, where do you place ikke in a sentence? Norwegian and English are similar in many ways, but when it comes to ikke, meaning not, the rules are very different and a little challenging to learn. Let's do some examples so you can learn how to use ikke correctly. In basic sentences, ikke comes after the verb. Here's an example. Jeg spiser ikke fisk, meaning I don't eat fish. If the object of the sentence is a pronoun, like I or you, then ikke will come after the pronoun, not the verb. Let's change fisk, fish, in the previous sentence to the pronoun den, meaning it. Jeg spiser den ikke. I don't eat it. When there's more than one verb in a sentence, ikke is placed after the first verb. Here's an example. Han vil ikke spise fisk, meaning he doesn't want to eat fish. In this example, we have the modal verb vil to want and the verb å spise to eat. So we have to put ikke after vil, which is the first verb in this sentence. When we use expressions like when and if, ikke is placed in front of the verb. For example, når jeg ikke spiser frokost, blir jeg lett sint, which literally means when I don't eat breakfast, I easily get angry. Another example would be hvis du ikke kan delta, send meg en melding. This means if you can't participate, send me a message. Here, ikke comes before the verbs å delta, to participate, and å spise, to eat. Ikke is also placed after a reflexive pronoun such as myself or yourself. Here's an example. Jeg kuttet meg da jeg hakket løk, meaning I cut myself while I chopped onions. Or, hun legger seg ikke senere enn klokka 11. Literally, this means she doesn't lie herself later than 11 o'clock. However, the more natural translation is, she doesn't go to bed later than 11 o'clock. Lastly, if you use ikke as a command, you need to put ikke in front of the verb. Here's an example. Ikke løp, meaning don't run. Okay, I hope that helped answer your question. If you have any more questions, please leave them in the comments below and I'll try to answer them. Ha det! Vi ses senere! Bye! See you later! Hi everybody, I'm Annette from NorwegianClass101.com. Do you know what monsters Norwegian people are scared of? In this lesson, you'll learn about 3 scary monsters in Norway. Let's start with the most popular monster. Troll. Troll. It is referred to as troll in English as well. Trolls are large creatures who live in the mountains. They also live in caves and rocks and are generally unhelpful to humans. Sometimes they are even dangerous. They are ugly, unfriendly, and slow-witted. Also, they will turn to stone if they are hit by sunlight. That sounds pretty scary, right? You might have heard about the next monster. The next one is Fossegrimmen. Fossegrimmen. This is a water spirit who plays the violin. This monster appears as a beautiful young man who lures people to a watery death with his enchanting music. His music is most dangerous to women, young children, and pregnant women. According to legend, he would teach his skills to any who brought him a piece of meat. Okay, here's the last monster. Draugen. Draugen. Have you heard of this next one? This is the drowned ghost. This monster is the ghost of a drowned sailor. It is a huge monster covered in seaweed. When it appears, it makes a terrible scream, and it drowns fishermen and sailors on stormy nights. Let's wrap up this lesson by recapping what we've learned. Listen to the names of each monster and repeat after me. Troll. 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 A water spirit who plays the violin. Fossegrimmen. Fossegrimmen. Drowned ghosts. Draugen. Draugen. Well done! Do you know how Norwegian people celebrate Halloween? Halloween in Norway is mostly celebrated in schools and kindergartens. It is steadily gaining popularity with adults who observe it with costume parties in nightclubs, while some children go trick-or-treating in their neighborhoods. And that's it! You just learned about 3 of the scariest monsters in Norway. Now, learn Norwegian twice as fast by downloading all your PDF cheat sheets, including survival phrases, pickup lines, business etiquette, and more. Check out the description below and go to norwegianclass101.com now. I'll see you next time. Takk, og ses neste gang. It is referred to as troll. Oh. I didn't. Trolls are large mountains and large gorillas. What the fuck? Meat. Yeah, meat.
Here, how to do it.
Okay.
Hi everyone! Do you know how to say I love you in Norwegian? In this lesson, you'll learn 3 different ways to say it. Let's start with how to express your feelings to your loved one.
Jeg elsker deg. Jeg elsker deg. Jeg elsker deg.
Or if you want to explain those butterflies in your stomach, you can say
Jeg forelsket I deg. Jeg forelsket I deg. Jeg forelsket I deg.
And when you feel that I love you is not enough, you can say
Ord kan ikke beskrive min kjærlighet til deg. Ord kan ikke beskrive min kjærlighet til deg. Ord kan ikke beskrive min kjærlighet til deg.
You just learned 3 different ways to say, I love you in Norwegian. And if you're interested in learning more, don't forget to download your free Romance and Love cheat sheet, which includes romantic words, compliments, and pickup lines. Check out the description below and go to NorwegianClass101.com now. See you next time!
Hi everyone! Do you know the 1,000 most useful phrases in Norwegian? In this lesson, you'll be able to know all of them, so sit back, relax, and have a cup of tea as you listen and learn.
Hvor badet?
Unnskyld meg.
Kjempebra.
Jeg har en reservasjon.
Hvor mye dette?
Hva dette?
Takk. Det sant? Kan du gi meg en rabatt? Wi-Fi gratis?
Kan jeg få regningen? Har dere noen anbefalinger? Kan jeg prøve denne?
You just learned the 1,000 most useful phrases in Norwegian. And, if you're interested in learning more, try learning the core 2,000 word list. With this, you'll understand 95% of the language, and best of all, this is not a joke. Check out the description below and go to NorwegianClass101.com now. See you next time!
Expand your vocabulary with our Core 2000 Words ebook. It's free and packed with essential expressions that you'll use on a daily basis. Start building your vocabulary today. Click the link in the description below to download your free Norwegian ebook before it's gone.